Shadowed Battlegrounds presents From Fairy to Mortal, a heartfelt Irish love story. The sea roared like a restless giant against the Cliffs of Moher, its waves crashing hundreds of feet below. A lone man named Eamon O'Malley stood at the edge, his boots slick with rainwater, staring at the misty horizon. Heart heavy with grief after losing his family's ancestral farm to debt, Eamon had wandered here seeking solace, or perhaps an escape. As his foot slipped on the wet grass, the world seemed to slow. His arms flailed, grasping at empty air, and he tumbled into the abyss. Rocks blurred past him, the ocean rushing up to claim him. He closed his eyes, bracing for the end. But it never came. Instead, he hit a ledge several feet below, the force jarring, but saving him from certain death. His body rolled violently over jagged stones, his arms snapping under his weight, and then he slid further, the sharp edge of the cliff tearing at his skin. As he tumbled again, the final plunge loomed, but then he felt himself caught, suspended midair. Opening his eyes through the haze of pain, Eamon found himself enveloped in a shimmering golden light. A figure hovered above him, a woman radiant and otherworldly with translucent wings like spun glass and eyes that sparkled like dew on a summer morning. "Fear not," she said, her voice melodic and soothing. "You are safe." The fairy Áine had seen his fall and acted on instinct, catching him just before he reached the ocean's fury. However, she was too late to stop the initial impact on the rocky ledge. Carrying him in her arms, she flew him to a mossy glade hidden deep within the cliffs, where ancient trees formed a protective canopy. She laid him gently on a bed of wildflowers, her hands glowing as she healed his worst injuries, but not all. Some wounds, she knew, needed time to heal naturally. For hours, Áine sat beside him, her fingers lightly brushing a lock of his dark hair from his forehead. Though fairies were forbidden to interfere with mortal lives, something about Eamon stirred her heart. His rugged face bore lines of hardship, yet there was kindness in his features, a warmth she had never felt in her centuries as a guardian of the cliffs began to bloom within her. As Eamon slept, Áine began to dream, of walking beside him in the sun, of laughter and shared stories, of a life lived not as a fleeting, ethereal being, but as a woman, tangible and mortal. She knew the price of such a choice. To become human was to lose her immortality, wings, and essence as a fairy. Once done, it could never be undone. But love, even unspoken, made the impossible feel necessary. By dawn, Áine had made her decision. She stood over Eamon, her wings glowing faintly in the twilight. A soft chant escaped her lips, ancient words of transformation whispered to the morning breeze. Slowly, her wings dissolved into the air, her light dimmed, and her ethereal form solidified into that of a mortal woman. She felt the grass beneath her feet like never before, the cool morning air brushing her skin. For the first time, she was truly human. When Eamon awoke, the first thing he saw was Áine, now a stunningly beautiful woman with long golden hair and warm green eyes. Where am I?" he croaked, his voice hoarse. "You're safe," Áine said with a smile, her voice no longer shimmering with fairy magic but soft and warm, like sunlight on a cold day. "I found you and brought you here." Eamon stared at her, bewildered but grateful. "You saved me? How?" Áine hesitated, the weight of her sacrifice heavy in her chest. Let's just say fate had a hand in it. Over the following days, Áine stayed by Eamon's side, helping him recover. As they talked and laughed, Eamon found himself drawn to her kindness and quiet strength. He felt as though they had known each other forever, though he could not explain why. By the time Éamon was strong enough to leave the glade, he couldn't imagine returning to his life without Áine. And though she missed the freedom of the skies and the songs of her fairy kin, Áine knew she had made the right choice. For in Éamon's arms, she had found a love that was worth more than all the magic in the world. The cliffs whispered their approval as they walked away together, hand in hand, leaving behind the realm of the fairies and stepping into a future bound by mortal time, but limitless in its promise. If you like this story and want to see more, click on the icon top left. If you want to help support our channel, please hit the subscribe button on the top left. If you have a good history idea, let us know in the comments. Thank you.